Shalom, shalom. I'm trying to figure out where my friends list is at. There they are. There the friends list is. I'm just gonna tag a few people because I'm gonna have to come back and get right back on this subject again. And the reason why is because until our brothers and sisters get the fact that above all the things that you can accomplish and all the things that are noble to do in the name of the Most High, there is none of them that sit above marriage. Because when God put Adam and Eve together, the world was theirs. Whatever they wanted to do, the sky was the limit. It was theirs. That was the greatest thing life had to offer to them is each other. So I've got to come back and put that on there because we done been through all of this hell dealing with these people. They done played all these games. And now, when the Father brought Eve to Adam, he was like, wow, that's my body right there. That's mine. Can't nobody have it but me. That's how he was. And through all this stuff we done been through now, you look at that same sister. You look at them same sisters. They are Eve's daughters. And we are Adam's sons. You look at them same sisters. And it's like, oh, now they ain't good enough. You look at Adam. Eve, when Eve got brought to Adam, she looked at Adam and I'm sure she didn't know what to think. She didn't know what to think. You know? I'm sure she knew that she was a part of him now. Now you sisters, y'all look at a brother and you say, You look at these white dudes now. That's what look good to you. The same dude that raped your grandma. You know what I mean? Beat your kids. Threw your children to alligators. Same one that hung the brothers in trees. And yeah, I know what you're saying. Not my man. He wasn't there. Yeah, well, his granddaddy was the one that was doing it. And when they get ready to teach their children, they teach their children according to things that they have come up in. So you can fool yourself if you want to. But that's neither here nor there. What I'm talking about really ain't even got nothing to do with them. It's got everything to do with us. I just be on them because they sprinkle systematic schemes in there. And since we always want to be so smart with each other, but then we turn around and be the dumbest people on the planet. That's why the Bible, and I'm telling you, I know some of you wise, you're in the Word, you're in the Scriptures, you think you're this, you think you're that. But that's why the Father say that we're going to be an astonishment. And astonishment is like saying, man, they're going to be the biggest dummies on the earth, the biggest idiots on the earth. Astonishing is when you just go for stupid stuff that don't even make no type of sense at all. Now, if somebody wants to say that the Father is a lie, when he said that, yeah, you go right ahead and say that the Father's a lie. But I'm still feeling the same way, so I got a couple of things that I want to show y'all just to make my point. Just to make the point. You know, so this don't make no sense. Like that one video that we done when we did about the sisters. Okay, the heathens want to put it out there like, what was it? 3 to 6 million sisters out here, so-called educated sisters, can't find no black husbands, no husbands. They ain't married. So their only option is to go and join themselves up to white guys. You see, that's our options. That's our options right there. Look at her. She ain't even got the sense to understand what she done. And you got to digress, because now your nappy hair got to be broken down in order so it can be straightened, just so you can blend in with him. Look how fine she is. Look at him. Robert De Niro, we know he's a great actor. Every man on the planet want to have a sister, but the father made her for Adam. Now you think if Adam looked like this, he was going to say, wow, that's bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh? I don't think so. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Cause I just be looking at, just ask yourself some questions, man. I just don't get it. I seen that one right there. But there's plenty of them. There's plenty of our brothers and sisters that we ain't trying to do it. Nah, it can't. That ain't gonna be Adam. Because Adam wasn't created like that. Nah, Adam was created from the dust of the ground. So let's see here. Yeah, Adam was created out of the dust of the ground. And I don't care what you try to do, you ain't gonna find no dust. All dust look the same. All dust look the same. So, all right, now here's another one. This one say, this is a crying shame. You got 10 brothers that they refuse to date a black woman. They refuse to date a black woman. And after I get through looking at these little things right here, we're going to go and look at the scripture. Who got about, oh yeah, Robert De Niro and the black girl. Well, at least she had sense enough to go get a white boy that had money. They could make her dreams come true. A lot of our brothers, they go off and they get the biggest, fattest white girl that they can find. And run right on into the sunset with them. Some of these things, they just be putting stuff up there just to get you to click on there. It don't near about be what you was looking for. I'm going to another page. Let me get off of Bing. I'm going straight to Google. Yeah, I want to do that because I want to Google some of this stuff before I do start speaking on the video. I want to have some solid evidence so that if by chance I get excited and start fussing, y'all know exactly why. And the reason why that happens sometimes, I know I get excited sometimes. It seems like I just snap out. But the reason why that happens is because sometimes I feel opposition in my spirit. I feel somebody in my spirit saying something crazy across town, and that just ignites something like, yeah! So, let's go. Black celebrities. Okay. Okay. You go straight to the source. We're going to start with the women first. We're going to start with the women first. And the reason why we're going to start with the women is because Eve, wasn't no man made for you. The Father made you, and then he brought you to Adam. And so anytime you can just pick up on yourself and just leave your man behind, leave your person, your Hebrew man, whatever man you race up, you leave your Hebrew man behind and pick up and just go off on your own and go and marry somebody else of another race. You're in the worst kind of error, and you're in the worst kind of condition. And we want you to feel like it too. We want you to know it. Because you ain't even had a right to be going outside. And we know some of our brothers, because we're going to get to them too, but we just starting with you. Because you're an extension of me. How you going to take what's rightfully mine and then join it to something that's my enemy, that want to see me dead or destroyed? And now you're going to use that part that you came out of me. You're going to use the greater part of me to do me harm? May the Most High deal with you ever so treacherously for your wickedness. We're going to deal with you women first. I'm telling y'all now, this ain't going to be no lovely video. Somebody might just want to go on and get off now. So let's see here. What I want to see, these famous white men are married to black women. Now, let's look at the black women and look at the men. These famous ones. Now, let's keep it in mind. We're going to keep it all in perspective, sisters. All in perspective. I wonder if I can get that glare off of there. Okay? Y'all see that? I don't know if y'all know who that sister is. I don't know if y'all know who the white guy is. But let's go down there and see. Let's go down there and see. Who's the sister? And who's the white guy? It's the legendary singer and performer David Bowie. He's married to a Somali American model, Aman. One of our biggest top models in the world. Top models in the world. What do you think making her choose him? She was already a top model. What do you think? What do you think made her choose him? She had to go against the grain of her whole culture, everything. Come out from up under. Now, how can she refuse to be obedient to the man that the Father meant to get a godly offspring out of? She can choose to be disobedient to him and run and be obedient to a savage, somebody that have conquered, raped, robbed, murdered, and maimed the people that look like her since they came into contact with each other. And she go and marry a heathen that look like that. Okay. I like one of David Bowie's songs. David Bowie had a song out back in the day that was called Fame. It was a big hit too. Okay, number 2. This one we just seen a minute ago. That's Robert De Niro. Quite naturally, we know that every white boy wants some good chocolate stuff. Because after all, God made it for us. We had the best thing. We had the best thing. Now hear me, brother, because it's something for you to learn. We had the best things that anybody could ever have in this world. And he take what was the best thing God made for us, and he holds on to it for dear life. And you yourself throw it away like it's just nothing. This is our people. Now, she was also a high-powered sister, an actor. Now, let's go to another one. Here's another one of our sisters. See if we get that camera focused in there good. Yeah, that's another one of our sisters right there. She married to a big egghead heathen. Yeah. Let's see who this is. It says this is Jeff Wolfgang Puck married his third wife, designer Jalila Asefa. Now, what do you think? What do you think make a woman that look like you and I can be successful and then go and marry somebody that look like him? What do y'all think is doing it? What do y'all think is at the cause of it? Yeah. Yeah, y'all just keep on watching. Keep checking it out. Keep checking it out. Here's another one. And these are not no slouch of women. These are not no slouch women, okay? These are high-powered sisters. But the point I'm making is that they're high-powered, but they too good for the men that the Father created them for. That's what's sad. And we ain't just talking about that, you know. It's just even worse because the brothers are the same way. Now, after I look at this last thing, I'm going to pull some scripture in there. Love has no color. Black women who found love with white men. That's a lie from the pits of hell. Now let's go here. Let's see here. Let's go here. 1 second. Yeah, let's go back here. And see, the thing is that it's not like we don't have black married couples, because we do. We have plenty of them. But they don't like to show you them. They don't show you them on TV. They won't make a commercial with them. Yeah, they ran out there to go and see that Black Panther movie, and then came all the way back like it was something that was affecting their lives. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we talking about. The very people that's making the slave movies and all of that. Look at Cornel West, the nappy-haired dude with the glasses. Every time some news channel or something like that, they always got him up there trying to be a voice for black people. Then you go right home to a heathen. Look at all of them doing the same thing and then go right home to a heathen. But you don't tell me nothing about your people, black people. What do you know about black people when this is what you do? What do you know about black people when this is what you do? When this is what you do. This is what y'all do. Y'all see this? Because sisters, y'all can't talk about them because y'all just as crooked. And the reason why everybody's so messed up is because ain't nobody trying to yield themselves to nothing that the scripture is saying. Nobody. Look. Here's another one. He's another one. He's another one, ain't got no sense, ain't got a lick of sense, just got money. Just got money. First thing we want to do. Nigga, why you want to wear the dreads and all that in your hair, but these the only people you want to be associated with? You see? I'm telling y'all, man. I know what I'm talking about. And then y'all can sit there and pretend. Now let me show you something. Let's just go to the scripture. Let's just quit playing and go to the scripture. Let's go to Malachi chapter 2. Okay. Verse 11. Judah hath dealt treacherously, and an abomination is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. For Judah had profaned the holiness of the Lord, which he loves, and had married the daughter of a strange god. Did y'all hear that? Let me read it again. For Judah hath profaned the holiness of the Lord, which he loved. What was the holiness of the Lord which he loved? Let's see. He hath married the daughter of a strange god. He hath dealt treacherously. He hath profaned the holiness of the Lord, which he loved. How did he profane it? He did not cherish what the Father had given him as a wife. He profaned that woman who was the Lord's holiness, whom he have chose. He profaned that which was holy for the daughter of a foreign god. Y'all talking about God, you talking about you're Christian. Oh, you ain't no child of God if you hooked up with a heathen. How you going to be his child and you profane his holiness by rejecting the woman that he give you? You tell me that. The Lord will cut off the man that doeth this. Y'all better be careful. When y'all start talking about the Native American Indians, the Panamanians, the Brazilians, the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans, when y'all start talking about all of those people in Israel and y'all start marrying these different people. Now, grant you, I'm not saying. You see, Judah was scattered into the four corners, and so the Negroes reside in all of those lands. But everybody in those lands are not Negroes. So I'm not saying that we are not in all of those places, because we are. It's just that some people have taken advantage of the fact of us being in all of those places, then now incorporate the other peoples that were already in those places into us as a family. When you do this, you better beware that you don't become one that profanes the holiness of the Most High, because the Most High gave Israel a specific woman to attach himself to. And if you do, he said, the Lord will cut off the man that do this, the master and the scholar, out of the tabernacles of Jacob, and him that offered an offering unto the Lord of hosts. And he said it had nothing to do with the fact that you was a scholar and that you was a master of your craft. You had a PhD, you understood the scripture, and them that offered sacrifices, which were the priests. You might be a priest in Israel, but you're a priest in Israel that have profaned the Father's holiness by hooking yourself up with another woman other than an Israelite woman. He said, you shall be cut off. There was no limits to the people that would be cut off. So, and this have ye done again, covering the altar of the Lord with tears, weeping and crying out, insomuch that he regarded not the offering anymore, or received it with goodwill at your hand. He told you what not to do. But he said, and this you have done already. And now you covering my altar, weeping with tears. Sort of like when David first impregnated Bathsheba, and after he killed Uriah, Bathsheba has the child, and the child dies immediately. And David now covering the altar with weeping and with his tears, as though the Father is supposed to have mercy on him. He didn't have mercy on him. He slew the child as soon as it came out, and didn't let him know. Ain't no need in sitting around crying and coming after me after you going against the grain of what I'm telling you. And after 7 days, when David realized that the Father wasn't hearing nothing that he was offering, he got up, he washed his face, he changed his clothes, and he went on into his destiny with an understanding. Now, verse 14 is because we have a habit of losing our mind. Like we got so many people that want to ask questions on this, that, or the other. But the question that you're asking, you already know the answer to, because the Spirit of the Most High is dwelling on the inside of you. But your forefathers wasn't no different. They asked the same question. It says, yet they said, wherefore? Why are you doing us like this? Because the Lord hath been a witness. This why. When calamities start falling on you, when I don't feel sorry, when Tiger Woods gets divorced and his wife takes $70 million from him, I don't feel bad about that. That's what you get. I don't feel bad when O.J. Simpson get locked up and get everything taken. I don't feel bad about that. This is what the book said. Now that these things happen, when Bill Cosby gets accused of all of these different women, I don't feel bad about that. He said, wherefore? Why should I feel bad about that? I'm not going to feel bad about that, because this is what you expected to do once the bottom fall out of something. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody feel bad about them things, because that's what the Father is doing. And the only people that feel bad about them is them that it happened to. Why is all this happening to me? Why is all this happening to me? OJ, Bill, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods. Why is all this happening? Kobe Bryant. Why is all this happening? Everybody that ever laid hand on one of these heathens have suffered. Jack Johnson. Why is all this? Why is all this? Richard Pryor. Why is all this happening to me? Why is all this? Everything is happening to you because you're going against the grain of the Father's word. And many of our brothers and sisters, you ain't even celebrities, but you asking the same question. Why is all this happening to me? That's what the Father was saying. That's what he said. And they shall say, wherefore? Why is all this happening? He said, and I'm going to simply answer, because the Lord hath been a witness between thee and the wife of your youth, against whom thou hast dealt treacherously, yet she is thy companion, and the wife of thy covenant. You see? You dealt treacherously with the wife of your youth. You don't think you dealt treacherously with the wife of your youth. But from the minute that you laid down and you consummated marriage through sexuality, That was the wife of your youth right there, because you were not supposed to be entering into no type of sexual consummation until marriage. And when you did that, that's what happened. That became the wife of your youth. And that became the woman after woman after woman after woman after woman after woman. The wife you consummated yourself with. Watch, a woman after woman after woman. And I know you thought you was boyfriend and girlfriend. And you thought it really didn't matter because we was broke up and we wasn't together again. But you broke up and you wasn't together again with 50 other women. And that one, the beginning, was still the wife of your youth. And you ain't never understood that. So you ain't never repented. You ain't ever asked the Father to wash you clean from all of that, to make you pure again before you get another woman. You ain't never done that. And you think that life is fine. But the Father said, no, you done dealt treacherously. You done dealt treacherously with the wife of your youth. So, and she is thy companion and the wife of thy covenant. And did not he make one? Yet hath he the residue of the Spirit, and wherefore one? Why did he make him one? That he might seek a godly seed. Therefore take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously with the wife of his youth. You understand the reason why he told us to never go outside, and that woman became his holiness, is because that through that woman, he was seeking a holy and godly offspring, which was to come as a result of that Hebrew man and that Hebrew woman getting together. Them two would produce a holy, godly offspring. And what do you think our brothers and sisters have produced? They have produced just what the giants produce in the earth. Some hybrids. Some hybrids. You'll have people walking around here as hybrid beings. One part righteousness, one part total wickedness. Well, that's what the scriptures say. Yeah, that's why child support be getting us. Because it comes as a result of the things that we done. That was wrong. He said, you done dealt treacherously with the wife of your youth. And look at our sisters. Look what our sisters doing. They don't even have no sense, no direction, period, to be doing nothing like that. You turn around and you say, we, the men, the cloth that you was cut from, ain't worth nothing, as though you can't understand the level of oppression that been put on Hebrew men. You think that you just grazed your way out of it. No, you didn't graze your way out of it. They strategically put you where they was at, because you was the Father's holiness. That through you, that godly offspring was going to come. They strategically put you where you at so that you can't be the vehicle that godly and holy offspring come from when they disconnect you from the man that God gave you to be with. And y'all ain't seeing none of this. It's too much in the world. Give me the new car. Give me the new house. Oh, girl, I got to get my nails done. I got the Brazilian weave. You check out my new ankle bracelet. You sell all of that. And you don't know, and you don't understand that the Father is going to cut you off unless you repent. He's going to cut you off. You think, how are you going to have some security parking your car in a garage that don't even belong to you? You ain't got no security. You living in a dream world. Tell you what Morpheus told Neil. You living in a dream world, Neil. And many of our brothers and sisters, we living in dream worlds. Because you got more tolerance for somebody in the opposition than you have for your own. I'm just riding down the street today, minding my own business, on my way home. And I see a car coming up, and I know I got to get over, you know what I'm saying? So I said, okay, well, let me go and start trying to get over. And lo and behold, as soon as I start getting over, a guy in a gold Jaguar, I just see the nose of his car, so I figured, well, nigga, I can beat him on out of here, So I hit the gas, try to get out in front of him, and he hit the gas too. He ain't gonna let me. And so I just said, you know what? It pissed me off. But he as soon angry, dealing foolishly. So I just slowed down and just whipped on behind him and just shook my head, you know what I'm saying? Because we would kill each other behind an incident like that. But you'll stop on a dime to let the opposition get in front of you. And the only thing you want to do is see them wave their hand at you. And that done made your whole day. And you happy. But you'll murder your brother. And you won't let him get through. Oh, these niggas ain't shit. They ain't shit, girl. I tell you, they ain't shit. We doing our thing. And then you'll turn around and tell all your friends how wonderful the one that was raping your grandma is to you. How wonderful that one is to you. Oh, he's so nice, girl. Ain't nobody never treated me like this. Oh, ain't nobody never treated me like this. And then the next thing you know, you're in a dungeon somewhere. Or next thing you know, you somewhere licking on some dog. Or out there in the field with some horse. Because that's the type of nature that these other people have. Oh, and they so wonderful, until you find yourself in there. Then you're too embarrassed to come out. So now you stuck in there. But see, the Father done cut you off already. Same thing for you brothers. You don't fool with no sister no more. You don't fool with no sister. You don't want to fool with a sister because she got too much character for your foolishness. That's why you don't want to fool with a sister. You want somebody that's going to do what you do whenever you say do it. You want somebody like that you can just push around like they don't mean nothing. But you can't do that with a sister because the Father put her here to help you. And she'll stand in your face and tell you when you dead wrong. Or, baby, you need to change this. Or you need to think about that. She'll interject what she thinks. And that gets on your nerve and hurts your feelings. It messes with your so-called manhood. So you rather just have a puppet. No. You ain't no man. Eddie Murphy ain't no man. He's a faggot. Michael Jordan ain't no man. He's a faggot. That Cornell dude, he ain't no man. He's a faggot. Any Hebrew man, no, you ain't no man. You're a faggot. That's what that is. And all men don't connect themselves to white women because there's something wrong with sisters. And all women don't connect themselves to a white man just because it's something wrong with the brothers. Sometimes there could be a genuine attraction there. You can generally be attracted to the opposite race and the opposite sex. You can genuinely be that. I'm not saying that don't exist, but the vast majority is not up under those circumstances right there. They ain't up under them circumstances. So what's the whole purpose of the conversation? The whole purpose of the conversation was born out of the fact, now you go try and see it for yourself. And if it don't bother you, then that's just on you. I can't find. I look on my potato chip bag. I see a white boy and a black woman. I look on the TV commercials, I see a black guy and a white girl and mixed kids. I look in the movies, I see the same thing. I see the same thing, except in the movies they'll try to fool you. They'll show you black people, but then in real life, when you see the person that played the black people, he's married to a European woman, she's married to a European man, and they doing a damn movie pretending together. How stupid does that sound? You can get together and make the Black Panther movie and it be all black people in it, and you got to act a role to be hooked up with your own self. As soon as the movie is over, you both part ways and go hook yourself up with heathens. Therefore, you become the biggest hypocrite in the world. You shouldn't even stoop that low to make a movie like that. That is why they laughed all the way to the bank. They said, look at these niggas. Look at these niggas. Every actor in this movie is married to a heathen. That's why we don't mind him playing these roles. But look at these niggas. They don't even have no idea that all of these are our boys and our girls. And look at them running. They done fattened our pockets up and made this movie one of the biggest movies in TV history by painting you a fairy tale. And then they go home to a real life that has nothing to do with you, the Israelite, the African, or nobody else. So it's what it is. Y'all better wake up and smell the coffee. Yep. That's what it is. What is all this? Please tell contacts in your messenger list not to accept friend requests from Andrea Wilson. She is a hacker. Yeah, well, I don't accept people's friend requests like that no way. I screen everybody's. Yeah, I love my Israelite sisters too. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I tell you, and if it wasn't for the sake of lust, you know what I mean, I'd probably love to have 4 or 5 Israelite wives. If it wasn't, if I didn't think that it was controlled by lust, man, I would just financially wear off to where I could just care for women and care for my sisters. Please, I probably could see myself with 4 or 5 wives. I don't know how Sweetie Pie see it, but I'm sure if it was done the right way, you know what I mean, it'd probably be good. That's why I always had to throw that out there. If it wasn't for lust's sake, you know what I mean, there's a whole lot of things that can be done a lot of different ways, you know, if it wasn't being controlled by lust. Yep. So yeah, but that's what's up. What y'all think? Y'all think this message was too strong? Well, I see the fireworks done began again. That messes me up. So yeah, we got to do better, man. We got to do better. Take the lust away and it's real. Yep, that's what it is, man. You see, our thing is that we learned the way of the heathen and we crossed off. We crossed off good. So if you take lust out of the way, then everybody can see clearly. Everybody can see clearly. But as long as lust is in the way, when you start off having sex and all that stuff in your relationship, you can never see clearly. That's why I'm telling you. And you don't treat each other right. You don't do right by each other. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just have to wait and say, nope, I ain't going to do it. And when I do it, it's going to be the man that I can spend my stuff with. It's going to be the woman that I can spend my stuff with, you know. I don't keep on hopping around from person to person. The Father ain't pleased with that. He ain't pleased with that. We got to say, you know, we got to have something to pray about. You want to be connected to the Father. You want to have faith. Let him show you he can operate in your life like that. Yeah, let him show you he got the power to operate. He changes people. He changes the hearts of people. When a man and a woman get together, they ain't all what they supposed to be. They still two separate individuals. The Father had to come in and mold them and make them into one person. Those are things that have to happen over the course of the time as the Father is doing things and dealing with two people. But he can't do nothing if you in rebellion, and you're gonna end up suffering for it. You see? If they won't put us on a potato chip bag and let the world know that the Israelite family ain't went nowhere. If they won't portray us in Hollywood, right? If they won't put us on the TV commercial, then we need to make that thing manifest itself right before their very eyes in the everyday life that we live in. We need to show up everywhere, on the mall, black woman, black man, black children, in the restaurant, black woman, black man, black children, in the schools, black woman, black man, black children. That's what the next generation need to see. We'll let the world know that the TV, you can't lie your way out of this. And we need to bring some shame to our brothers and sisters that have thought to do something different. Because when they look at you and they look at themselves, they know that they're missing something. Because in her heart, she knows that there's not a greater specimen on the face of the planet Earth that is greater than the Israelite Hebrew male. There is not a greater specimen. You show me another one that can outthink, outfight, out sports, out athletic, out art, out science, out astrology, out anything. You show me one other species that can outdo any Hebrew man. I'll take back every word that I just spit out. Eat them up and eat the phone up in the process. She knows that. But it take another sister to bring her to shame by showing her, you ain't got it. You done crossed off. Brothers need to be the same way. You need to be proud of your Israelite sister. You need to be able to take her to the highest floor of wherever it is. Put that brother that got a pink toe on his side, put him to shame. Because when he see you and her, he's going to know he's accepted less than. So, these ain't no messages of racism. These messages are the messages with the scriptures. Because the Father was seeking a godly offspring. How you gonna have a godly offspring when he telling you the reason why I ain't got a godly offspring is because you have dealt treacherously with the wife of your youth. You have put away the very thing that I've given you to produce my godly offspring. You have put her on the back burner and rather go and put your semen in something that I already rejected, and you think that I'm going to accept you? Y'all listening to what these other dudes are saying about these other nations? You think that the Father going to accept you when he told you don't go dealing with that? Yeah. There's the scripture. There's your cry aloud scripture. Cry aloud and spare not. Show my people their transgression. Israel their sin. And you gonna tell me what kind of truth you in? You ain't got no wife. You ain't got nobody to be responsible for it. Can't keep nobody. Can't stay together with nobody. You gonna tell me you in truth and you got the nerve enough to raise your hand up at the most sacred creation that the Father ever created for us. You can raise your hand at it? No. Now, y'all can miss me with that. We ain't going there. So, it's what it is. Let's get a grip, people. The Father wants to see. Adam was created in the Most High's image and in the Most High's likeness. He told them, male and female, be fruitful, fill the earth. Fill the earth with what? Fill the earth with what I created. I created you, Adam, in the likeness and in my image and in my likeness. Now what I want you and Eve to do is I want you to now reproduce and fill the earth with images and likenesses of me. But how you going to fill the earth with images and likenesses of the Father when you reject what the Father gave you to do it with and go and try to do it your own way? You ain't filling no earth with the images and likenesses of the Father if you're going outside of what the Father gave you. The Father gave all the nations that remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask the Lord, ask the Father, and they shall tell you. Ask the elders, they shall teach you. When the Father divided unto the world their inheritance, and he set their bounds according to the number of the children of Israel. Listen, now everybody had been broken up into nations and set in their own land. And they become a particular people as they reproduce and be fruitful. The Father never meant for you to be crisscrossing the earth, doing this, doing that with everybody. If you're white, it's the same thing. You see, you ain't supposed to have our daughters. You ain't supposed to have our sons because the Father told us don't give them to you. It's got nothing to do with what you classify as racism, because there ain't no such thing as racism until you got on the scene. So, let me get off here and calm down. I'm getting too excited. Shalom, saints.